So this is the letter that I sent to the hospital as the reply from the hospital. It says that in October 2020, the trust converted entirely to electronic system of keeping records of all patients, and they'll all be completed online. Well, I actually received all the paperwork, all the hospital records through Every's solicitors from June 2020 onwards. So I received all of them, and I got them in paperwork form, but I got them also on email. In regards to your concerns that dates have been altered in your mother's records, we have not been able to find any dates that have been changed. Well, there's absolutely hundreds. Well, there's not. There's like 23 altered dates on the days that my mum wasn't in hospital or after my mum was dead. And further, you have attached a photograph of the witness statement, I mean the mortuary witness statement, which you understand has been signed on the 24th of May 2018, which it has. It was the same day that my friend, who's the site manager, spoke to me in the hospital as I left the room where my mum's body was, as I'd said goodbye to her. It was the same day that the site manager spoke to me in the hospital, and she sent me the message after seeing me in the hospital. Sent me the message on Facebook Messenger to say how sorry she was to see me so upset in the hospital. And it says here that down at the bottom, the mortuary witness statement has been signed by the doctor, and he signed this form on the 29th of May. But we can see how it could be read as the 24th of May 2018. Well, it does say the 24th of May 2018 because that was the day that I said goodbye to my mum. I didn't say goodbye to her on the 29th. She wasn't dead on the 29th. She wasn't even dead on the 28th. She was dead on the 24th. They're also saying that at the bottom here, we understand how difficult it must be to accept this date, when you were convinced that your mother died on the 24th. My mum did die on the 24th. She didn't die on the 28th. She didn't die on the 29th. She died on the 24th. They're also sorry that another patient's discharge summaries were filed in your mother's notes. When I received the paperwork from Every's solicitors, there were more than one person's paperwork in my mother's notes. There was one other lady's discharge summary notes, but there were other people's notes mixed in with my mum's notes. And when I spoke to Every's solicitors, the secretary there, there were other people's notes mixed in with my mum's. Every solicitor said that there was more than one. There's 4 or 5 other people's notes mixed in with my mum's medical notes. Which is what I was concerned about. Up here, I'm just pointing this out again in regards to your concerns that dates have been altered in your mother's records. We have not been able to find any dates that have been changed. On the 24th of May 2018, my mother died, and I said goodbye to her in the hospital. My friend, who's the site manager, she spoke to me in the hospital, and afterwards I was so upset, I made my excuses and I left at about 4:30, 4:45. And when I came home, she sent me a message on Facebook Messenger to say how sorry she was to see me. I was so upset in the hospital, and I was really upset because my mum had just died. This is the message on Facebook Messenger. These are the altered dates that the hospital couldn't find, but I could, and I'm just pointing them out because there's absolutely tons. Altered dates, altered things, lots of things written ever so strange, but I think they're looking for altered dates, but there's hundreds of altered dates. The handwriting in the records I recognise as well. I'm going to put the pictures of the GP records on that say patient summary was sent on the 24th of May 2018 to Wonford House, which is the bit where the department where all the records go when a patient dies or whatever. Why else would they send the patient summary on the 24th, the day that I saw my mum dead, if she died 4 days later? Makes no sense. There's 23 altered dates that are obvious, and there's another 9 altered dates that are not quite so obvious. My mum was in hospital for 4 days, and she died within the 4 days. The hospital records say she was there for 14 days, the 10 days, 6 days on one side and 4 days on the other. There's a doctor who's the mortuary witness doctor. He also it says that he looked after my mum for the 4 days after she died. Well, he might have done in the mortuary, but she was dead, and it says that he looked after her in the hospital, in the ward, which she didn't because she was dead. There's also the X-rays where there's the X-rays where my mum had CT scans, which are the ones around the outside edge, in 2016. My mum was 83. There's the X-rays that were in the hospital in 2018 on days that my mum wasn't in the hospital. They also say she was 83, even though her date of birth is right, but she was 85 when she died in the hospital in 2018. Letter from the coroner's office to the GP practice says mum died on the 23rd of May 2018. I saw my mum dead on the 24th. The mortuary witness statement says 24th. Hospital can't find any of these things in their hospital records. I still find it extremely strange that 3 ladies in a apps for an HS car, white VW or VW Golf or Polo, turned up on the 24th of June 2021 to have an anniversary party